You've gone into a vehicle with your aftermarket diagnostic tool. You've gone through to carry out a process. Say you've gone through, for example, to reset AdBlue or an EGR. And then suddenly the function doesn't work, or the function's not there, or it's greyed out and it just doesn't do anything. And you can think, well, what's wrong with this tool? Is it the software? Is it anything else? The chances are now it's actually due to the lack of gateway security access on that particular tool. So what is a security gateway? There's actually a few iterations of a security gateway. It started off with the SCA group, Fiat Chrysler group, which is now the Stellantis group. And a lot of people used to say, okay, I can bypass that with a cable. It's actually an encrypted gateway, so 256-bit encryption. It's a bit like the Enigma code. It's very hard to unlock unless you've got the key or lots of computers to do it. Effectively, you have to pay to get through that gateway. The reason behind this is manufacturers spent billions and billions on the data in that vehicle, and they also don't want it to hack the vehicle and change things on that vehicle, and they also want to know who the hell has been in our vehicle. Many times you can access basic functions without security gateway access. So for example, you can read OBD codes, so emissions related codes in the engine ECU, but that's about as far as you can get. These days the encryption goes to another level where you actually have encrypted modules in the vehicle, so you might have to go through individual gateways in each one of the ECUs. Basically, this is anti-tampering for modern vehicles. I've actually spoken to people these days who said, can I switch the ADAS off in my car? The manufacturers wouldn't be happy with that, and neither would be the government. A few years ago, a regulation came out, which is a global one, called Cybersecurity 555. This enabled the manufacturers to protect their vehicles, but it also allowed them to make money from your gateway access. So in other words, every time you ask for that gateway access, you will get charged, or the manufacturer of the diagnostic tool will get charged to access that gateway. It's a kind of money for old rope thing for them, but also they have legitimate reasons. They are testing vehicles with hackers to see if vehicles can be hacked through, for example, the telematics system or the audio system. This happened in America in 2015 with Jeep, and all these laws were then tightened up. It does also give them ultimate control of the vehicle. Many manufacturers now update over air, and they're able to see who was actually in that vehicle and when they were in that vehicle. Originally, independent garages were not the target. They were just caught up in this process by manufacturer what is classed as security gateway. So some people will cover pretty much everything on the vehicle in security gateway because all the systems are interrelated. Other manufacturers say it's locking, it's security, it's keys, it's that, the other. But as we've been finding out, it's growing and growing and growing until they're locking down pretty much all the systems through security gateway access. How do you and those manufacturers get access? Well, you've heard about the CERMI scheme. The CERMI scheme is implemented to get you security access. However, it is not going to help with an aftermarket tool because it's the aftermarket tool that needs the security access. You may be asked to input your details, or will be asked to put your details into the tool that you'll be able to get the security access, but that is not the same as CERMI. So what actually happens is the manufacturers of the tools apply directly to the manufacturers for security access, and they pay them a fee. Now, this is done in 3 different levels. So the first level is they pay all the fees and you get all that in your subscription. The next level is basically you're going to pay per go as you go across. The last level is, which is the one that's not really implemented, is you then actually individually apply for each one as you go along. If you're using an original OE tool, you've got full access, and full access is very different to just gateway access. You've got full access to do full programming on every module. You don't even pause, there's no gateway, it goes straight through, it recognizes the tool, it goes back into the server, says, this is your original subscription, this is your original tool, wham, and you're in and it's all working. In comparison to an aftermarket tool, the aftermarket tool is just going to give you the same functionality as it did before. It's not going to enhance anything, it's not going to be suddenly allow you to do any programming or anything else. It's just giving you that access that you had 10 years ago on the same diagnostic tool that let you read and clear functionality, live data, some adjustments, and a very little bit of calibration here and there. Security gateways are not going to go away. You've got to try and future-proof your setup, so you have to carefully select what diagnostic tools that you're going to be buying now and into the future that to give you that gateway access in order for your workshop to function successfully. If you're going to upgrade your tool, look at what's out there, look at the security access levels. Some of the best ones are the best known European brands, things like Bosch and Autocom, who have the full access across the board of pretty much all of the OEs and at a reasonable price in the market. Things like Launch and Autel have the best coverage. Other brands, unfortunately, don't really have that. They have to go back through a third party. It's a very different system in the USA. They don't have the access that we actually have for the gateway unlock, and they're always complaining about it. Ultimately, if you want full coverage, you go for a full OEM legitimate package, because if you want to get gateway unlock, the thing has to go online. So all these crack copied versions no longer work with SFD, with whatever you want to call it, on each one of the systems. It will not run anymore. If you're struggling with this subject, if you're struggling to get security access, if you need advice around this subject, please visit maverickdiagnostics.com, or even better, join our community, and we can actually help you directly and give you some advice online about what to do and where to go, what products to look at.